Imoto, Giovannoni, Tabucchi, Hoagland and Zhang. This is the final of the men's 1,500-meter freestyle, the longest event in the pool, 30 lengths in what is genuinely a grueling event. It takes years to master, and much comes down to pacing. Times are really important, but they are secondary at these major events. The best swimmers want the medals, and it's about finishing ahead of others. It looks like the man in front, Tabucchi of Japan, is going out really quickly. His compatriot Imoto had a really good reaction time, which is important. So too are the turns. Hoagland is second at the moment. Tabucchi and Imoto both inside the top three, but nobody really breaking up the field as yet, although it looks like there might have been a bit of a threat from Tabucchi to go out and do so, but he's not exactly extending his advantage here, and Hoagland alongside him is sort of holding on. Giovannoni, though, looks to be swimming his own race. He's not in the top three for the time being, might just come up fourth to the wall at the 100-meter mark. And it's still 1,400 meters to go in this final. Giovannoni, Hoagland and Nagy have the fast closing laps, so if they're within striking distance of any other swimmer, we're certainly in for a treat. Only the Italian pair and the Japanese duo have swum sub 15:20 in this event before. So the Americans have got some work to do. The best swimmers would have been looking to go out in around 27, and indeed that was achieved by the man who still leads through 150, Tabucchi of Japan, as he went 26.94, 128.01 through 150 meters. So we're looking to go between 30 and 31 seconds in the laps beyond the starting lap, and you might expect the swimmers to hold that. Giovannoni, though, is coming to his own. He's just upped the pace a little, and it's very difficult in these longer races to change gear, to kick it up a notch, but Giovannoni has managed to do that, and he's gone beyond Tabucchi and Imoto now. So 0.3 of a second separating the top two, Giovannoni in front. He's mentored by Simone Palombi of the Italian national coaching squad, one of the finest swimming and mental coaches around. Well, the question is, who is going to employ what tactic in this race? Giovannoni just ahead of Tabucchi and Imoto, is how things have settled at the moment. So vital to hit a pace, hit a rhythm, hit a tempo nearly in the opening 50, sometimes in the opening 100, and then settle into your race. And then you'll see the faster closing laps. The likes of Hoagland, Nagy and Giovannoni of Italy certainly have the ability to close fast. Imoto of Japan, he'll know he's capable of going quicker than just about anybody in this field. So watch his positioning throughout the race relative to the leader at the moment, Giovannoni of Italy. Less than half a second separate the top three. They're looking to extend themselves and put themselves in front of any other swimmers in the pool. There's not quite a four-swimmer breakaway at the moment, but Imoto, Giovannoni, Tabucchi, and the American going in lane 7, Hoagland, is trying to keep pace. Nagy as well has moved up a little, 3:31.78. He touched just outside the top three, but that's a good swim from the two Japanese swimmers, Imoto and Tabucchi and Giovannoni. Technique is critical in this race. Watch the high elbow, low breath. It's a mantra of the coaches, high elbow, low breath, controlled head movement. What that does is it limits the body movement that would slow a swimmer down, limits the resistance in the pool. Just over half a second now. Giovannoni is leading from Tabucchi with Imoto third. That technique is genuinely critical in this race. So reducing the drag, reducing the resistance so that you expend as little energy as possible over the grueling distance in the pool is key. It's almost allowing the legs just to float in the water is Giovannoni. He's not really expending much energy with the legs. You'll see that tempo upped in the closing stages. He touches at the wall now through the 450 mark, 4:31.81, nearly a second over Tabucchi. Imoto now a second and a half back. And the American swimmers still trying to keep pace. It's Chris Nagy who is at the moment tucked into 4th position, man out of the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Computer engineering student. Right from Chuo University in Tokyo and Meiji University. Imoto and Tabuchi behind Giovannoni, who leads the way. Out of Unipigasso, as it's commonly known, the Picasso Telematic University, based in Napoli, the host city of the last FISU World University Games in 2019. He can certainly push in the closing meters, can Giovannoni. He's top seed in this race, and he's looking to put himself in front nice and early. The man who's going with him, though, is Tabuchi and not Imoto. Nagi now is up into 3rd position, and Imoto is just falling a little away, the bronze medalist in the 400 free. You get to a point in the race, though, or in the week of competition, where you feel like races are starting to catch up with you. He's not out of contention, is Imoto. He's still 4th, but he's slowing things down just a little. So between 30 and 31 seconds for these laps for the swimmers as they come up towards the 600-meter mark. And a man who's been leading since the 200 mark, Giovannoni, is in control of himself and indeed this race for now. Tabuchi and Nagi 2nd and 3rd. The swimmers, you'll note, don't use the underwater in the longer distances in the same way that swimmers will push the limit of their 15 allowed meters in sprint events. Watch the turn. Quickly up and breaks the water. Giovannoni, great technique as well. So some swimmers like to go out quickly. They like to break up the field, like Italy's Olympic and world champion Gregorio Paltrinieri, who remains the FISU record holder. The multiple world and Olympic champion Katie Ledecky of the United States is another swimmer who enjoys leading from the front. In other races, you'll sometimes note more of a cat and mouse approach. So don't necessarily be fooled by positions relative to one another in the pool. Each swimmer will have a race plan. Giovannoni ahead of Tabuchi, ahead of Nagi of USA, is currently how things stand. High elbow, low breath. Breathing every second stroke. Breathing is a staple. It's one of the fundamentals. A consistent breathing pattern helps the rhythm of the stroke. Every swimmer adapts a stroke that sees them breathe every second stroke so that they are breathing to the same side every arm cycle. It allows you, though, to see the swimmers on one side of you going up the pool and then see the swimmers on the other side of you going down the pool, as it were. Coming up toward the 800-meter mark now. We've just gone through the halfway mark of the race, 7:34.28 for Giovannoni at the wall at 7:50. Reaching the 8-minute mark, now we go. Coming up to the 800-meter mark. Giovannoni leads by nearly 2 seconds from Tabuchi. Nagi maintains that 3rd position ahead of Imoto of Japan. There's so many other aspects in this race to be cognizant of. Training has evolved. Nutrition has evolved. Nutrition during training is absolutely vital. Just look at how little his legs are moving. You can see from this glorious underwater shot. Had a great turn as well. Doesn't use much of the underwater, but a very streamlined movement from Giovannoni, so minimizing drag in the pool. He's got his lead up now to over 2 seconds over Tabuchi. Nagi is nearly 5 seconds off the pace at the moment. 8:35.10 at the 850 mark for Giovannoni of Italy. Something is going to have to go seriously wrong for him not to be able to close out this race. He is so settled at the moment. Usually you're looking at swimmers, though, just going back to the comment on the kicks, you're looking at largely a 2-beat kick. Sometimes the legs just floating in the water for short periods, but Giovannoni is employing that for longer periods compared to the sprint events where swimmers are employing 6 beats throughout. And that means 6 kicks every arm cycle. So you'll see the swimmers, though, increase the tempo and drive with the legs in the closing stretch. This is a great tempo from Giovannoni. Controlling the race beautifully here through the 950 mark. He's got his advantage up now to nearly 3.5 seconds over Tabuchi. he is firmly in control of this race. Nutrition during training is vital, but so too is what and when you eat on race day and even after the race. Coming up to the 1 kilometer mark, 1,000 meters in the pool. Giovannoni leads now, 10:06.45. He's nearly 4 seconds ahead of Tabucchi. Nagy is falling a little further back, but Nagy, importantly for USA, is not being caught by Imoto. None of the swimmers really hugging the lane rope in this race. It's something that you see relatively commonly in the longer events, in the distance events and freestyle. It's a bit of a training habit of hugging the lane rope, where you go down one side and up the length of the pool in the opposite direction on the other side of the lane. Look at this lead advancing substantially in front of Tabucchi at the moment. So efficient with his stroke, so efficient with his kick rate when he does use his legs, is the Italian. And we know he's quick to close. He is going to be difficult to catch. Look at his turn as well. Turns might not be considered overly important in distance events, but they have to be because of the sheer number of turns. If you look at the 1,500 meter event, there are 29 turns, for example. So when you consider that some swimmers have been calculated to lose 0.5 of a second per turn, that's 14.5 seconds added to your potential time over 1,500 meters. Giovannoni is executing his turns brilliantly, and he is just edging further and further in front of Tabucchi. Nagy is falling off the pace of Tabucci and Giovannoni, but he's still in medal position at the moment. Even if you're only losing 0.2 of a second every turn, that's nearly 6 seconds over a 1,500 meter race, and that could be the difference between gold and missing the podium entirely. Through 1,200 meters, that means 300 meters to go. 12:08.32 for Giovannoni. Nearly 5 seconds ahead of Tabucci now. Nagy still within 7.5 seconds effectively. Bear in mind, the last men's 1,500 meter world title was decided by 0.05 of a second. Ahmed Hafnoui of Tunisia beating Bobby Fink of USA by the narrowest of margins in a race over 1.5 kilometers in the pool, 30 lengths of this pool. 250 meters to go. Giovannoni touches in 12:39.08. Tabucci made up some ground. He needs to make a move if he is to challenge Giovannoni, but the way Giovannoni is swimming, his ability to kick, change gears in the closing stages is so impressive. It's not easy to change gears in the closing stages of a race, though. You'll see swimmers sometimes try in little bursts to up their tempo, and that's what Tabucci seems to have tried to do. Nagy, still currently in third, is coming to the wall now, but Giovannoni is ahead of Tabucci, but that gap is closing. I don't know if Tabucci has enough left in the pool, enough room left in the pool to try to make up ground on Giovannoni and genuinely challenge him for the gold medal here. A little more of a leg kick every so often now from Giovannoni, but still minimal use of legs. Great turn in the pool. 150 meters to go. Tabucci is second. Nagy is 8.5 seconds behind now, but importantly, he is ahead of Imoto of Japan. These swimmers well and truly out in front. The Italian who leads from the Japanese swimmer. They go in lanes 5 and 6. He takes the bell now. It's 100 meters to go in the longest event in the pool. 30 lengths in this pool. Nearly done. Giovannoni and Tabucci representing their universities with pride. They're both 21 years old. Nagy of USA currently in third. Looks like he's got the bronze medal wrapped up, but gold almost certainly now going to Giovannoni of Italy. He turns with 50 meters to go, 14:41.94. He leads by under 3 seconds. But that is a comfortable lead for Ivan Giovannoni of Italy. Tabuchi Kaito of Japan is closing the gap. It's been a stellar effort, but the strategy and tactic of the Italian has been absolutely superb. Working on his mental strength, working on his physical strength. He's going to claim the title here and add to the Italian gold medal tally. Giovannoni is the champion of the 1,500 meters, ahead of Tabuchi of Japan, while Nagy of USA. This is the medal ceremony for the men's 1,500 meter freestyle. The final medals in the pool on day 3 of the swimming competition go to Chris Nagy of USA, who takes bronze, Japan's Tabuchi Kaito, who secures silver, and Italy's Ivan Giovannoni, who claimed an outstanding gold.